Welcome back. Cash-strapped households and struggling businesses will face more pressure when electricity tariff increases kick in. A High Court has given escond, the power utility, the go-ahead to hike tariffs in order to recover some 69 billion rand equity injection funds. We'll delve further into this now and speak to escond's Regulations General Manager, Hasha Lemaje. Hasha, very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So 69 billion rand, which you can now recover over a 3-year period until 2022, but it's still very much a drop in the ocean when you look at just that hole in escond's finances.
Yes, this is related to the incorrect deduction that the National Energy Regulator of South Africa made in its previous cycle decision that the escond board had reviewed. So it is very specific for a particular reason, and it would go a long way in addressing the gap between what is a cost-reflective tariff and what the escond tariff is at the moment.
And how soon should we expect to start paying this money? Because if you're going to collect it, for example, in those sums of 23 billion rand a year, when should we expect to see it reflect on our slips?
Yes, it will start from the 1st of April, assuming everything goes according to plan, 1st of April 2021.
And what I was reading from the comments made by escond in welcoming this judgment was that you said it will allow you to migrate toward a solution where it could become, or escond could become more self-sufficient. A lot of South Africans wondering how soon will that day come?
Yes, well, it depends on what further decisions NERSA makes in the subsequent year, because we only have one more decision for the financial year 2022, which starts in April 2021. But then we would have to make a new revenue application, and then it depends on the kind of decision that NERSA makes that would determine how far the gap is. At the moment, the gap is approximately 60 billion per year that we are trying to fill.
And NERSA concedes that it concedes on the point of procedural unfairness, but it says it believes the judgment has in some parts gone too far and could ultimately contribute to economic disruption. How does escond respond?
Well, we can only go by what was presented at the court and in the court papers, and this is different from what was in its court's papers. In its court's papers, it said it concedes on the merits of the case, and the judge would need to look at only the remedy, and that refers to how this money could be refunded, basically, or be got from the consumer. So, and that is where the judge felt that she would make a substitution order, because she would basically step into the role of NERSA to be able to make that decision because of various reasons that she has found to be wanting.
Given NERSA's misgivings then about the judgment, outside of conceding the point about procedural unfairness, should they bring a legal challenge against yesterday's outcome from the courts? Would that interfere at all with your timeline for April and the introduction of the tariff increase?
Well, it's hard to say, but it's likely that that would be the case if NERSA decides to appeal, but it is unclear what they would appeal.
Let me ask you, Hasha, about the plan for poorer households and some in the industrial sector. There's been an indication that some sort of arrangement would have to be made there. What would that look like in practice?
Yes, as far as, and those are the vulnerable sectors, as far as the poor residential households are concerned, there are already efforts in place to be able to address that, and that would be extended over for this application as well, where there is that 50 kilowatt hours, which is free, which is the free basic electricity, and then there is an inclining block tariff, as well as some kind of cross subsidies that are afforded to the poor households. Then on the others, as far as the industrial sectors are concerned, there are efforts being made by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy to find targeted subsidies for particular industries that would require quite an extensive use of electricity. So that process is still underway, and we feel that that is urgently needed in this country.
Hasha Lemaje from escond, thank you for your time this afternoon.